Thank you so much for tuning in. This is your mid-December reading. Of course, energy is fluid, so we permeate a little before the 15th, a little after the 31st. Without further ado, Aries, let's get right into it. I'm hearing Sagittarius, Leo, and Taurus for you right at the outset here of your reading. And I was meditating on your energy. Leo wants to speak out for you, okay? And I was getting this feeling of having options. Having a lot of options. There being a sort of feeling of abundance, okay, in some kind of way, however it is that you may resonate with that. I'm getting for a number of you that this may be monetary financial gain, specifically as it pertains to matters of, I'm hearing partnership for a number of you, okay, our relations, our interrelationships with others. I'm hearing bespoke, and I'm hearing tailored value, okay. I'm hearing acquaintances, many acquaintances, and it is the holiday season, alas, okay? So there may be some sort of commotion, okay, in the social arena in that sort of way, but I'm not getting that it's just high and by, okay? I've accumulated in a certain way. I have honed in on, okay, I'm hearing Secret Service, okay, whatever that may mean to you. I'm hearing my specialty that has reigned in on, I'm hearing for a number of you, again, this may be monetary, okay, financial sort of acclaim and value in a certain way. I'm hearing value proposition for a number of you, and or manifesting, surfacing as an abundance of opportunities through which we can further expand the work that we do, okay? And community may be a focus for you here. I'm also hearing pool of assets. You have the 10 of Cups upright that popped out. The Son of Cups looks over at the Son of Cups facing a central stack here that wanted to pop out just now as we're shuffling. Son of Cups facing the stack of the Mother of Cups right beneath the Son of Cups. Okay, this duo came out for, it was, I believe, Virgo. Okay, yes, it was Virgo. Okay, Virgo, Son of Cups, Mother of Cups. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse came through as well for Virgo, but with the Son of Cups, Mother of Cups in reverse, and the Wheel of Fortune upright for Virgo. Now you then have the Fool. Okay, this is the string of energy that came through for Virgo's theme. All right, so there may be some crossover with Virgo there. The Fool upright for you, mirroring the Mother of Cups. I'm hearing somebody has I'm hearing the talent. Okay, somebody knows. I'm also hearing about a certain direction. I'm hearing has the in, has the know, understands also frequentially where it is that this, I'm hearing for a number of you, this liaison leads the longevity of whatever is being created. I'm hearing at the interim, at the junction, okay, there's a certain foresight that a certain individual holds, be it an individual who's incredibly intuitive. I'm hearing psychically in tune to a degree that is, I'm hearing at the outset, it's an inborn sort of talent I'm getting. So again, someone with a lot of water on their chart. As you may perceive it, as you may feel it. Somebody with a lot of, I'm also hearing Sagittarius and Leo. I'm visualizing Libra, okay, so, but you do have the Fool, that's Aquarius's card, okay, that I typically assign to Aquarius, okay, but, or that I feel rather with the Aquarius archetype, an individual perhaps who has a certain projectile, a certain long-term vision of how it is a new beginning that may have been in the past, is to fine-tune, I'm hearing energetically, to come to a point of recognizing exactly what that new beginning manifests as. And it's so interesting, so beautiful. This flock of birds just flew by in the sky there. Was it Virgo who also had a prominent show of birds in their reading? Okay. And you've got a number of creatures here who have feathers and wings and typically are right to take flight. You have the Fool, which is just a baby little chick whose wings are right kind of curdled in. You have the Mother of Cups. I'm hearing with grand display. Okay, the Son of Cups which too is kind of similar as I'm feeling it to the Fool. I'm feeling a similar sort of vibration in terms of the maturation of whatever a new beginning was. I'm getting that this new beginning was in the past in some shape or form. There have been many, 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 many options, alternatives. I'm hearing organizations for a number of you that were possibilities to work with. Okay, this is specific for a number of you, specific message coming through. May resonate differently with everyone, all right. But you have the Five of Wands in reverse right behind the Fool, mirroring the Wheel of Fortune, the number 10 in the Major Arcana. The question has been and has stood of what exactly is the creative direction. I'm hearing the creative lead, the creative I'm hearing directorship. Perhaps a question of who is to take on a certain organizational task that is inherently visionary, okay, for a number of you, and or what taking on such a role would eventually culminate as, transpire as, and I'm hearing into, okay, form. Now, I'm getting that inherently it is a creative venture. Now, maturation is key here. I'm getting that strongly. You have here Sagittarius, Sagittarius card in the Major Arcana, which sits in reverse as well, another feathered creature here, right behind the Five of Wands in reverse, the Two of Cups in reverse behind the Temperance card, and the Son of Swords in reverse behind this Two of Cups. There is a desire to clarify, and there perhaps has been a desire to clarify the standing of a certain relationship. Okay, and it's almost as if it's like my voice is giving out. Okay, it's like, we can't stand not communicating about the partnership dynamic that goes into what is, I'm hearing getting an organizational, that is fundamental, that is foundationally, I'm hearing esoteric for a number of you, and creative, dynamic, that is spontaneous. There is a certain, I'm hearing cracks, okay, where there is merging to be had, and I'm hearing to be made, where there are certain forces that are polar, perhaps as you may see it, as you may feel it, that are opposing, maybe dissonant in some kind of way, but ultimately that you feel and that you've felt and that you've known would be a creative sort of tension, where the tension that's felt is in a certain way conducive to expansive thresholds that could be met, where we face the prospect of partnership in the most, I'm hearing, unassuming of places, with contexts and within grounds that are seemingly not conducive to growth, where it's like, okay, partnering with this person would just, how would that work? That kind of feeling, okay? And I'm getting, for a number of you, this may have been in the past, specific message coming through for a number of you. For others, all right, there perhaps was a certain desire to clarify the terms of a partnership, okay, and the creative lead role amongst certain individuals, okay, to understand, I'm also hearing esoterically, symbolically, in a certain way, as you may see it, as you may feel it, what role it is, and I'm hearing the edge, the perforated edge, the sort of threshold of creativity in a certain way, as you delineate it, specifically legally, financially. I'm also hearing critical acclaim, okay, the desire to kind of put, for the sake of almost organization in a certain way, for the sake of feeling that there is a mutual understanding of the parts and the many parts that we all play in a certain way, a desire to establish, okay, very, very clearly, even if it means we're going to write out a contract, okay, kind of clarity, the function of the paradigm that we operate in as a pair. Okay, I'm getting that specifically for a number of you, and it may be a number of individuals involved, but specifically a pair for a number of you. Now, voice going out there, Aries. Okay, I'm hearing Aquarius, Sagittarius for you. You have then the Judgment card, another feathered creature depicted on this card, mirroring the Ten of Cups, right behind the Son of Cups, flying up into the stone of black tourmaline that is sliced by a much lighter stone. And I typically tend to personify, in a way, and attribute, I'm hearing for a number of you, okay, talent. There's a crossing over of talent, of potential, of creative vision even as well, and a certain level of difficulty, of tension, of pressure. And I'm hearing it's the pressurized force, okay, that drives the potential. And you may have realized that, where it's like, okay, the more different we are in a certain way, the more profound our complement to one another becomes in a certain way, as far as our creative drive. All right. Now, and specifically, if you have, it's a partnership on the table, and now you have the Strength card in reverse, Leo's card in the Major Arcana, right beneath the Judgment card. Okay. And here we go. Six of Cups in reverse, mirroring the Judgment card. High Priestess, upright, right behind the Six of Cups in reverse. There's been a decision. There's been, I'm hearing the long haul. I'm hearing the overdrive, the long drive, okay, of working with the paradigm of change, of shifting modalities, of, as well, tension, okay, of difference. And I'm also hearing indifference for a number of you, however it is that may resonate. Realizing that, yet again, where there is a certain need to comply with forces, I'm hearing, with difference, with what is seemingly polar in a certain way, right? It's like imagining two individuals who are, I'm hearing, accomplice, okay, to work with one another in a certain way, to create something, and it's like they're totally different. They've totally, I'm hearing, different mind speaks, different ways of communicating as well, different ways of envisioning and displaying whatever it is that is a vision in a way, I'm hearing, that is transparent and tangible. Okay, so the transference of ideas to reality in a certain way may be a point of difference. And but at the end of the day, right, these two individuals are in a certain way connected. There's the feeling of mutual, I'm hearing, inhibition. Okay, for a number of you, I'm hearing that, take it as you will, as well as the recognition that, as difficult as it may be, as it may seem, it's ultimately a pressure point, and I'm hearing valve, okay? So, and what I'm imagining is, right, it's like the black hole, okay? The universe birthed from the pressure, okay? Right? It's where we meet the threshold between, I'm hearing for you, impossibility and possibility, where it's like, I've reached the end, okay? Absolute full capacity, okay? The balloon pops in a certain way, and there is a lightness, okay? There is an awakening, there's an awareness that's had that is fundamentally, I'm getting for you, a number of you, energetically driven, esoterically understood, and spiritual. And it's perhaps this feeling of we are being guided, okay, to work together in a certain way, as different and as strange, as anomalous, what an oddity it is that others may perceive our relationship as, our partnership as. I'm hearing it works. And it works because it doesn't work in a certain way, to a point of, I'm hearing enforced virtue, okay, where it's almost like the point of recognition of the gifts and the values that I'm hearing this tenure holds, that this merging, okay, holds, becomes apparent. I'm hearing transparent, when we let go of what sets us apart. Okay, so focus on perception here. Absolutely, Six of Swords upright, right behind the High Priestess. There's a knowing that's mutual. I'm getting this strongly for a number of you, specifically if this is pertaining to a partnership, a connection that, and be it, right, you and yourself, okay, the two propensities within you, two very sort of different ways of viewing the same sort of subject. I'm hearing subject matter for a number of you, okay? I'm hearing different ways of approaching problem solving. There is a fundamental knowing that the varying propensities and ways of approaching a certain matter are ultimately applicable. When we close our eyes, when we're not expecting to understand how exactly A, B, C, G, okay, fits, okay, in sequence. And I'm getting that you understand that they fit in a certain way, but it's almost like the experience of trying to make them fit. Okay, and I'm getting that perception is a major factor here in terms of, right, it's like when I open my eyes and I look at these various factors and I see how different they are, it kind of, I mean, it meddles with my mind. It influences my perception of what I'm feeling, connects them all in a certain way, okay? It's been I'm hearing a trial, it's been a test, it's been a process, my goodness, Aries, that you have stood by through time, okay? I'm hearing time and time again. It may be cyclical, but there is a certain culmination here, and I'm getting that whatever you've been working towards, okay, I'm hearing calibrating, and it can be, yet again, the merging of certain dual forces, as you may feel it or see it. And I'm also hearing speak about it, that in terms of communication, just as the Ace of Swords pops out in reverse, okay, in terms of communicating about it, perhaps in the past, the way we've regarded it, also perhaps intellectually, I'm hearing perceptively yet again for you, brings us to a certain point of abundance yet again, okay, where we not only, I'm hearing feel at peace, I'm hearing in our zone with what we are working with, I'm hearing with the meddled values, okay, M-E-D-A-L, meddle, right? It can also be taken as a certain sort of, I'm hearing medallion, okay, treasure, right, I'm hearing treasure trove, I'm hearing it again, treasure speak, okay, something about speaking here, and I'm pulling the Four of Cups out, right, as I say that, the base of, the top of the base of the deck, mirroring the Ten of Cups upright, which is your theme yet again, overlaying, and I'm hearing overcoming the Son of Cups. Okay, the Four of Cups, though, I've laid right over the Two of Wands in reverse. That leads into the Emperor in reverse. Yet again, though, I'm getting that, whatever, it's like, okay, we've been working on trying to I'm hearing, synthesize our efforts. And there comes a point, right, where, okay, you have 5 cups and 5 cups. You have this sort of opposition, this duality, and yet the centrality, okay, of I'm hearing the glow, the after effect of the symphony, the synchrony of your work. And it's like, the minute that I'm hearing it flows, I'm hearing channeled source for a number of you. There is, yet again, it's like, where is this coming from? It's that kind of feeling. It's like, well, when we, I'm hearing when we spark, when we align, again, no matter where it is that we're coming from, they may be polar, varying sort of, I'm hearing isolates. Okay, I'm also hearing I'm seeing it as like the poles, the North Pole, the South Pole, so to speak, right? When we merge and I'm hearing come to face to face, I'm hearing unwind the cassette. And what we find I'm hearing we don't disclose. What we find, we realize surfaces in the moment that we shed. I'm hearing frugal, okay, whatever that may mean to a number of you. The moment that we shed the encasing of face value that has been a certain lens for a number of you, through which this dynamic has been recognized and assessed. And it's this, I'm hearing encasing. It's like an egg. Okay, that's the feeling I'm getting. It's like an egg. And the moment that the egg begins to crack, right? And what has been incubating in a certain way, even if yet again it's been this feeling that's like labor, okay? It's like this childbirth, okay? And it may for a number of you be that, okay? Absolutely. But the moment that how we experience this experience of merging, of polarity, of duality, yet again for a number of you, transforms we recognize, okay, not the feeling of it. We don't become it in a certain way. I'm getting that. But I'm hearing challenge it, and I'm also hearing channel it, okay? There's something here about a process of experiences that have been emotional, that have been emotionally based, and it may be the crossover between a financial relationship and partnership, professional, career, right, oriented, and that which is emotional, that which is spiritual, that which may also be tangible, in addition to legal for a number of you as well, okay? The assets that we bring to the table are superfluous in a certain way. And it's a matter of getting past what we literally bring to the table, okay? Because yet again, there is this driving understanding that this is a momentary transit. What you bring, what I bring, is, I'm hearing temporary, okay? Ultimately, it's what is created. And it's this feeling of birth. That's the sort of feeling that I'm getting, right? It's like, okay, well, technically, you have the yin and you have the yang. And something is created, right? Whatever that may be. But what culminates, what manifests is almost, I'm hearing, permeates its own value. And laying off, I'm hearing the grid, okay? Laying off how it is that what is created fits into a certain category. I'm hearing a name, okay? You realize I'm hearing perfunctory, okay? I believe that came through for Sagittarius, all right? I'm hearing is performed. Okay, is performed. I'm hearing accessed, is accessed, is not to be determined, not to be strategized, but to be just experienced in a certain way. And it's almost as if you are the observer of what it is that you are creating. And to be in that space, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, energetically, however it is yet again that you take it, there's a certain unhinging of the part that has been played as an independent individual in a collective experience, okay? And I'm hearing bodies of experience. Now, it is an emotional culmination, absolutely, and I'm getting that there's a lot going on, a lot going on, very busy sort of energy. The Two of Pentacles in reverse in the deep past, Five of Cups upright in the recent past, okay, the Two of Wands in reverse, accompanied by the Four of Cups upright in the energetic pathway that leads you into your current state of the Emperor in reverse. You then have the Lovers, Gemini's card in the Major Arcana in reverse, who's flying into the Emperor. You then have the Four of Swords upright in the near future, the Death card, Scorpio's card in the Major Arcana upright. In your hopes and or fears, looking over at this little lamb on the Four of Swords card. You then have the Six of Pentacles in reverse in the future position, and the Magician in reverse in your environment, who's, excuse me, looking over at the Rat on the Four of Cups card, who's looking over at the Two of Wands that lead into, that point to the Emperor. Okay, in your current state. The Magician is overlaying the Ace of Swords, both in reverse yet again. You then have the Nine of Wands in reverse and the Ace of Wands in reverse, both in your energetic pathway that may be seen in tandem with your final outcome of the Six of Pentacles in reverse. Interesting because the Ace of Wands and the Nine, when added together, form a 10. You have a number of cards here that speak to finalization, culmination, closing the chapter in a certain way, but not by way of just closing the door, okay? I'm hearing clearing house, but by way of watching the performance of culmination, yet again. And it's not, I'm not getting the feeling of, I'm hearing slamming the door, okay? The end, I'm hearing. No, I'm not getting it as that. I'm getting it as, it's almost like I've written the storyline, I've created the movie, and now I'm going to my preview, and I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to feel the experience that I've been participating in until this point. Beautiful. Now, and I'm hearing purview. You have here the Eight of Swords upright as well, the Empress, okay? Focus on creation here, absolutely. Magician in the dead center. Absolutely maybe pertaining to birth in whatever form that may resonate with you. Take it as you will. The Empress, again, this is your very own card in the Major Arcana as well as the Emperor. Okay, upright, overlaying the Ace of Pentacles upright, the Chariot upright, Cancer's card in the Major Arcana mirroring the Emperor. This is all happening in your top right-hand corner apex. Now, there is an inversion, okay, of the role that we play, the role that we think we play, the role that we perceive that we play, that we've played to a certain point. And it's almost like it's this feeling, Aries, of I am now watching, I'm hearing my own material, my own content. In the state of creating, there's a certain mentality, there's a certain, I'm hearing also personality, there's a certain perception of our work. But when perceiving the, I'm hearing the formulation of matter as it is translated from intention, from a vision, is worlds apart. Again, it's this feeling of I'm my own audience. And there's a certain vulnerability, okay, that goes into that. It's like that kind of feeling, watching my baby videos, okay, sort of feeling like, oh my goodness, oh, I don't know, what am I gonna do, right? It's like, it's the self, the visualizing of the self, okay, the creator of what is being created. And it's a sort of self-reflective moment It requires you to, in a certain way, watch carefully, okay, your actions, how it is that you have oriented, have worked towards, have capacitated, have envisioned a certain stance, and I'm hearing stable, of success, of yourself, of your personal identity as a creator. What has that been for you? And the many ways in which you have sort of geared yourself to work towards that, and the emotional side of that approach that was taken is the focus for you. And there's a feeling of that, very much so, a feeling of that process. And it's like, well, if I've been working overtime, if I've been just working, focusing on creating a certain image, okay, I'm hearing a certain identity. What are the emotions that are acknowledged? Okay, I'm hearing that permeate through me. I'm hearing through the real me, take it as you will, however that may resonate with a number of you. Okay. In such a way where I find myself not only acting, but also feeling in my actions, feeling myself acting in the way that honors not only my creative desires, but my need to express myself creatively as I pursue what I feel speaks for me. And it's like, okay, I am a creative person. I am, let's say, the director. I am the lead act, the lead role. Okay, I get on stage and I perform. I do my thing. All right. But at the end of the day, through the day, in fact, I'm still binky blanky, okay? I still like nap time, all right? I feel the sentimentals of what it feels like to be, I'm hearing a creative person, a sensitive person, what it means to feel your creative, work. And there may be a certain sentimentalism that goes into that, okay, that is perhaps a point of review. Now, focus here on vulnerability, on speaking as well, and water energy tremendously so. All right, you got the Five of Cups as well, that has led into the Four of Cups. I'm hearing rebounded into the Four of Cups. Whatever has been a point of emotional dissatisfaction, perhaps by way of feeling so sort of also perhaps distant, dissonant in a certain way, perhaps for a number of you, with the work that we're doing, and or perhaps the way that we are emotionally involved in the work that we're doing, and or in the way that we are socially, communally involved with those who we work with. All right, in a certain paradigm of the emotional dynamic of creation, there is a confrontation with what is, I'm hearing, sore emotionally, what is raw emotionally. And there is a certain clarity with which you are feeling the need to recognize the emotional propensity for what it is. Okay, I'm hearing giving it equal measure. Now you have the Two of Pentacles in reverse. You have two twos here in reverse in the past, and I'm getting it as there's been a focus, a desire to find a certain balance. Okay, the fusion between, I'm hearing opposites, polarity. Yet again, it can have a financial story to it as well. You have the Lovers then as well. You're in your advice in reverse. Again, flying into the Emperor in reverse. There is a beckoning, okay, to not define in a certain way what the role has been for both parties. If I'm getting specifically, if this is two individuals And or if it's your own two propensities that are somewhat different. Okay, it's like, well, I play this role and I also play that role. I'm hearing engineer. I engineer my work. I'm hearing my claws, and I'm hearing the lead guy. Okay, I'm also the lead guy. I'm both the performer, I'm the singer, and I'm also the writer. There's something about remaining just at the point of expression of what you feel led to create without even acknowledging for others, without rather labeling how different the moving parts have been and are. The colors that radiate, I'm hearing that shine. I'm hearing that reshine as well, that perhaps are recognizable in a certain way. I'm hearing gifts and propensities specifically for a number of you, and I'm seeing and feeling that the colors that we see on the Lover's card are somewhat alike those that we see on the Ten of Cups card, as well as on the figure 8 that we see on the butterfly of the Two of Pentacles, the background of the Two of Wands in reverse, and as well the many colors we see in the chalice on the Ten of Cups card. Okay. There's a focus on what is a natural reaction. And it's almost like it's not my duty, okay, to delineate. I'm hearing chemical A from chemical B, bringing them together, and then I'm hearing performing their value. What is a reaction of what is, I'm hearing turbulent, of what is yet again a point of tension, will become obvious, will speak for itself in a certain way. And it's like, what I'm imagining is that there's like a rainbow, okay, right after there's been a really heavy rain storm. And it's yet again the after effect. It's the glow. It's the calm in a certain way that speaks, and I'm hearing it's the creativity of color. Okay, and I'm also hearing vibration for a number of you. So it's almost as if what you are creating, right, is an emblem of the process, the process of manifestation in a certain way, the energies that have accomplished, okay, the resonance factor that is manifested in the third dimension in a certain way. That stands to redefine the paradigm of creation. And it's a perception shift, Aries, the perception that we hold of creation and creativity. And it's almost like, yet again, you are viewing your own work on this big screen, okay? And you're listening to your music that you're creating. And I'm getting specifically, it's like creative performance focus, but right, it may resonate differently for everyone. Of course, general reading. So, but when you're watching your work, it's like I'm surrendering to how I expected creation to manifest. I'm also hearing permeate, okay, from intention to the third dimension in a certain way. Now you have here a confrontation, yet again, with this exact principle of perception. And the vision that you've held, the focus, the drive, I'm hearing the overhaul, the overdrive, the guiding force and principle through your work, through it all, no matter what it is that has confounded this desire to continue, is now I'm hearing at the podium to speak. And there's a focus here on how we speak about it. Okay, how it is that we address the relationship and the dynamic. And it could be internal, absolutely, and it may be an internal sort of conversation. And if it eventually is to be a speech at some point, if it is eventually to be communicated, I'm hearing out loud, to be professed, to be also relayed, okay, perhaps taught, mentored in a certain way, I'm hearing for a number of you, there is this period of grappling with esoterically what our values have been through the whole process. And it is a matter of perception yet again. That is the gatekeeper that you've realized is the pair of glasses of sorts that I have placed while I'm hearing operating through the context that I've been working through creatively, and also the pair of glasses that I take off when I am ready to view what I have created. And it's that realization that it is a paradigm shift. And I'm hearing that we are the vessel, okay, through this passage of time, an experience of the self in varying dimensions, okay. You have the Death card that's, right, laser focused on this baby lamb. And it is in your hopes and your fears. You realize that the way that you characterize, even if it is for yourself, in terms of your perception, yet again, how you, I'm hearing, what has been your strength, a strong point for you? What has been a point of resilience and also a test of challenge? Okay, how you handle challenge in a certain way of polarity and duality, I'm hearing, and performance, our ability to perform under a certain amount of pressure, faced by difference, I'm also hearing indifference, challenge, you realize is ultimately the leaping board from which you set out to begin again. And it is the sort of principle, the scheme, okay, that's created in your mind specifically, and I'm also hearing esoterically, of how you view and perceive, or how you do not view and perceive, how it is that there is a certain sort of, I'm hearing operational lens, okay, that lies at the threshold of the beginning and end of your work in a certain way, so to speak, as you may see it or as you may feel it. You realize, okay, that to create, I am to confirm for myself, to clarify my standing and my acknowledgement of this perceptive value. And I'm getting it as self-perceptive as well. Okay, and I'm getting that there is a new beginning here that is impending in a certain way that that is I'm hearing brewing, all right, and there may be another chapter, I'm hearing sequel to whatever it is that you're creating, that is in a sort of I'm hearing in line, okay, I'm hearing in face as well. You have the Ace of Wands that sits just behind the Magician. Okay, but the Magician has its focus laid on what's going on in your energetic pathway, the current energetic pathway of the Four of Cups upright and the Two of Wands in reverse. The focus yet again being on, back down to this Emperor, the release point, the viewing, I'm hearing the viewership, okay, and the recollection as well, I'm getting that as well. And it is Mercury retrograde, right? And, there may be, right, things, conversations, people coming back around the mountain from the past, especially, right, any strategies that were put in place that are in some shape or form perhaps not resolved, okay, unresolved, still standing, may come up for review. If you are making any important decisions, especially particularly as it pertains to matters of, I'm hearing partnership for you, also legality, finances, I'm hearing specifically, not so much legality for you, interesting, Mercury retrograde is usually, right, all about don't sign contracts, okay, but take it as you will, right, always heed your personal intuition, Aries, with that. But as well, in terms of communications specifically, I'm hearing relaying audience members. Okay, it may behoove you to wait until Mercury goes direct, even beyond its shadow period, post-shadow period, which is around January 22nd, okay, or so, January 20th, 22nd. Let's see, okay. Nonetheless, and Mercury retrograde technically goes direct on around the 20th of December. So it technically goes direct, but then you have the post-shadow period. So if it's something that is brand new that you are to communicate, then it may behoove you to wait this period out to really plan and review, okay, and then launch. It seems that you will be doing that as you have this Ace of Swords in reverse as well, the Magician, the Ace of Wands, and there seems to be this energy of pending, okay, to finalize a certain sentiment, the focus being on the, again, the energetic pathway in the current position that seems more introverted. So the extroverted nature of whatever this next chapter is of the change seems to be on the horizon, okay, at the brink of, I'm hearing stellar performance, okay, and so there's something that needs to culminate in a certain way that yet again is emotional, that is energetic, that is, I'm hearing, a revolution, that is revolutionary, that comes perhaps from the past, in cycles, that precedes, okay, a certain leveling. I'm hearing leveling up. Now, there is a period of remembering what has contributed to our creative assets, our drive, what has been a point of motivation, what has been a point of illumination, even of desire, of drive, what has fed our imagination as well, our as well spirituality, our connection with not only our creativity but our our intuitive, impulsive premonitions of what it is that we want to create, okay? And there's a certain distinction, Aries, between, right, okay, I have this would look so cool, I could create this technically. I'm hearing with the various colors. And the impulse to create something that almost has no forethought, okay? And I'm hearing foreground, all right? Right, so take it as you will. That maybe for a number of you, there's a certain sort of distinction of what you feel is a source of creation and creativity that leads you to a certain level, okay, or many levels of creation that speaks to, yet again, not only creation, not only drive, not only momentum, the Two of Wands in reverse, but as well the emotional need, the spiritual side, perhaps, of the story, energetic, okay, and that which speaks to the sentimentals, yet again, of the process and the expansion of the experience of creation. Now, whatever has been unfruitful is now, I'm hearing, willowing. Okay, and it's perhaps a cleanup period of that. Okay, well, this didn't serve, that didn't serve, and it's a review process, okay, as I'm getting it for you. Again, a tremendous, tremendous focus on matters of perception, the Eight of Swords upright, and I'm getting that here, right, the Eight of Swords upright in the top right-hand apex, right, the highest point in your reading. And it's overlaying cards that speak to creation, creativity, of new beginnings, of also transformation, of where we place these new beginnings in time and space, the context in a certain way of a new beginning. That I'm hearing is abundant. That I'm hearing speaks for itself. I'm hearing the carriage, the passage of time. Again, of the many times that have contributed to realizing, in essence, the value of what we want to create. We realize, I'm hearing, comes undone and fastens for the ride. The moment that we understand the role that our mind plays in the process of creation, from one junction to the next, from one gate to the next. I'm hearing from one valve to the next. I'm hearing heart valve to the next. There being a major focus on the emotions, okay, that go into the process of creation, and it's like I'm hearing the humantics, okay, it's like semantics, humantics, the human, I'm hearing human tile. This came through for another sign. Oh, was it Taurus? Okay, not entirely sure. All right, but nonetheless, right, the sort of also perhaps humanitarian side of what, right, and who and how certain factors, individuals, parties, variables are at play in the process of creation. I'm also hearing duality. Okay, so focus here on absolute perception and how it is that I'm hearing it again for you, purview, how it is that we prepare our expectations of what it is we're creating from start to end. Becomes a crafting of synchronized thoughts, synchronized, also I'm hearing behavior. The moment in which we realize that the many varying ways of perhaps viewing something, be it your own varying perspectives and also values, perhaps. I'm hearing value propositions, the varying ways, options, strategies even, okay, for a number of you, or be it many varying opinions, okay, two different parties, number of different parties who have a certain say. In a certain way, yet again, they all are dynamically intertwined, I'm hearing for you. They are all in a certain way applicable, okay, I'm hearing to the grand venture. And not only the grand venture, but the grandness of the venture. Okay, so they, again, as anomalous as every part is that is playing, okay, I'm hearing that is live, that is going live, I'm hearing that is showing up, I'm hearing show and tell. The actions speak louder than, I'm hearing, the labeling of the actions. All right, so there's a focus on the vibration, and I'm hearing the vibrational sequence of certain creative measures that are taken, and the effect, okay, seeing and feeling the effect that is energetic and also emotional of those creative expressions are and bring closer to, in a certain way, as you may see it, as you may perceive it, a point of assimilation, of polarity. Okay, thank you so very much, Aries, for tuning into your video. I hope that it was helpful for you in some kind of way, and I highly recommend you check out your rising, ascendant, or moon sign as well, as oftentimes those may provide you with further insights into your situation. Creative beginnings abound here. It's such a potent energy for you, a creatively potent energy for you. I'm back to mention that, Aries. Love and light to you during this period, and always to you all on this transformational journey forward. Love and light to you in abundance. And if you don't know your signs, you can click the link below in the description box that I provide, and that will calculate them for you. Let's see. Your North Node may play a role in terms of life path, career, also partnerships for a number of you, financial partnerships. This came through as well for, I believe it was Virgo. Okay, so if you don't know your North Node sign, you can calculate it as well via the link below in the description box I provide, and that will calculate it for you. Nonetheless, thank you so much again for tuning in and for your patience with this reading, Aries. Love and light to you all, and I'll see you soon.